So let's say we've been given the root of 15 plus 8i. Now we want to evaluate this one. Well, how do we go about it? So such a one, we can also write it in the form a plus ib. When we want to simplify such functions, root functions where we've got a square root, you can just go direct and equate it to that form, because we want it to be in the form a plus ib. Now at this point our aim was to be finding the value for a and b. Well, we can square on both sides, so that will give us 15 plus 8i being equal to a plus ib. This is going to be squared, so we've seen that the root has gone. So if we expand, this will give us 15 plus 8i being equal to a to the power 2 plus 2abi, and then plus b squared, I squared. Now we know that if you have got I squared, we can put there a negative 1. So this is going to become a negative b squared. So we can write it as 15 plus 8i being equal to a squared minus b squared, and then plus 2ab. Well, at this point, this doesn't have any I, this doesn't have any I. This one has got an I, this one has got an I, which is okay there. So we can equate them. So what we are saying is a squared minus b squared is equal to 15. And then the 2ab should be equal to what? Should be equal to 8. I is common, so we leave it out because it's going to cancel out. Let's divide by 2. This will give us ab is equal to 4. To remain with the value for a, okay, to remain with the value for a, that is going to give us, let's make b the subject of the formula. B is going to give us 4 over a. We can as well make a subject of the formula. So in this function where there is b, we are going to put 4 over a. So let me write it there. So that will be a squared minus 4 over a squared, and that is going to be equal to 15. I've taken it just from this base here where there is b squared. I've substituted. So this gives a squared minus 16 over a squared, and this is going to be equal to 15. Well, I don't want to see fraction, so let me multiply by what I can see in the denominator there. So by a squared. So this is going to give a to the power 4 minus, this is going to cancel out, so just remain with 16, and that is going to be equal to 15a squared. Let me take the 15a squared the other side, and so that gives a to the power 4 minus 15a squared minus 16 is equal to 0. It might be cumbersome to solve something that is raised to the power 4, so let me just say let x represent a to the power 2. We know that a to the power 4 can also be written as a to the power 2 squared. So that will give us x squared minus 15. Where there is a to the power 2, we are going to put x, and then minus 16. That is going to be equal to 0. At this point, we look for the product of this function and the sum. I mean the equation. The product is negative 16. The sum is negative 15. So the factors are going to be equal to what? Two numbers we can multiply to get negative 16 if we add them to get negative 15. Okay. So that should be able to give us negative 16 and a positive 1. Okay, like that. Let's go on and continue the process. We see where it reaches us. And so we're going to say we can write this one in the form x squared minus, okay, plus x. We are writing now the factors, minus 6, that is 16p, and then minus 16, and that is equal to 0. So this will give us x plus 1 minus 16. This is x, it's not yet p. That is 16, and then x plus 1, that will be equal to 0. So this will give us x minus 16, x plus 1 is equal to 0. So this is going to give us x is equal to 16, or x is equal to negative 1. Okay. that those would be the values of x. But remember, we are not interested in the value of x. We want to find a. We know that x is equal to a squared, so we come back and say a squared is equal to x. So that will give us a squared is equal to 16, or a squared is equal to -1. If we want to find this one, we are going to square root both sides, but we don't have the square root of -1. It's undefined, so we leave out this portion to give us a complex number. So let's forget about that one. Then we go to the other side, and then we say a is going to be equal to the square root of 16. We know that the square root of 16 is the +4 or -4. Well, after finding this, we go now to find the value of b. Now the value of b, we already saw that b was equal to what? 4 over a. So we've got b can either be equal to 4 over, so when a is equal to +4, this will be 4 over 4, b is going to give us a 1. And then when a is equal to -4, if we use the -4, then b is going to be 4 over -4, and b is going to give us a -1. Therefore, what we can see is what we are given, the root of 15 plus 8i can either be written as in the form a plus ib. We'll just go on and substitute the values. If we use a as +4, then b is going to be a +1, so that will just be I. Or if we use a as -4, that will be -4. b is going to be -1, that will be -I. So these are the two solutions to this problem.